Hey chat, hey chat, hey chat, hey chat. Hold up. Mm, I gotta update my video. Oh, the phone locked up. Oh, the phone died. Dang. Give me 1 second, chat. My phone that was controlling the camera just died. How y'all doing? So, just to introduce to what we're gonna be doing today, we're gonna be reading the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies. This was $12 at Barnes and Nobles. It was in the book annex, right? It was written by John Michael Greer. You feel me? Uh-huh. I just happened to go to my local Barnes and Noble, and it just happened to be there. So I said I read like the first 2 pages. I was like, this book seems kind of interesting. And then I had the idea to read it for stream. So I was like, this is kind of it's a cool book to read on the stream. You feel me? So uh, okay, okay. Looks like the phone turned back on. I actually turned low power mode off. I don't want the phone to go to sleep. I'm gonna have to reopen that email. My phone's not connected to the internet yet. Okay. Um, yep. Hope y'all ready to enjoy a good read or interesting read. I don't know if it's a good read, but it for sure is interesting. You feel me? So, mm-mm. I need to swap the orientation on my phone so I can reach the other side. I have my shit set up perfectly, man. It was perfect. And then I had to do all this. Oh, camera timed out. Okay. Back camera. Back camera. Back camera. Mm. It's lagging. Come on, baby. You gotta catch you up. That happened a little minute ago. Mm, mm, uh-uh. There we go. Catching up. Starting to catch up. Keep on catching up. The bit rate catching up. Catching up. Keep on catching up. Yeah, let's keep on doing it. Come on. Bit rate, do it. And move it. I need more space. Mm, mm, mm. They catch up every couple seconds, man. Maybe I'm gonna close it out and reopen it. Yeah. It's like lagging, man. Concurrent viewers. Refresh the page. Gotta put in my. Mm. Good thing y'all can't see for camera to load. Back camera ready to go. Mm, mm, camera to load. Back camera's ready to go. Mm, I'm on the rain. I'm on the rain. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Ready to go. Mm, 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 mm. Welcome to the stream. Sorry for the delay in the con and what we're trying to do here. For whatever reason, um, my video ninja is lagging. My video ninja's lagging, man. I might just make a new room. That might just have to be what we do. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a new room. A new video ninja room real quick. Give me 1 second, chat. Make a new room. Create a room. Okay, I gotta copy this. Put this here. Mm, 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 mm. Ready? Mm, 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 mm. Ready to go. Mm, 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 mm. It's ready to go. Mm, 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 mm. It's ready. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, this is the wrong phone. Mm, mm, it's ready to go. It's ready to go. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. I guess I'll use my front camera instead. My back camera does not seem to be loading. There we go. There we go. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. I think this is where we swap phones. This phone is not working. Not sure why, but it's just not working. So use the other phone. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat. I'm not sure why all this is being like this. I didn't have any problems with it earlier. It's all good though. We'll figure it out. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. This phone's so big, brother. Okay, I can hear it. Where is my video, bro? Okay. Yo, finally, brother. Oh my goodness. Sorry, chat, man. Honestly, sorry to myself, bro. There were so many people who came to join the stream today. Just kind of fudge it all up for your boy, for yourself. Thank you for whoever stayed. You just kind of just thank you for being a trooper, I guess. Kind of just trooped, stayed around while I had all these technical difficulties to get this little thing set up. Just the book cam. Wanted to get the book cam ready. If you could let me know in the chat if the music is too loud or not. I know, unless you don't think I don't think I've heard the music this entire time. Probably not. Oh, yes, y'all have. Cool. All right, let's get it. So, finally getting started. We're finally getting started on the read, man. Okay, so I got about 30 minutes where I can read now. I'm sorry, I really just blew through the first 30 minutes trying to get everything set up. Okay, so let's get it. So, the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies. Here goes the table of contents, the introduction, the dedication, the Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies. Okay, okay, let's get started. So the first, how was I going to do this? It kind of messed up how I was going to show you guys the book by having to redo my stand several times. But let's get it. Accepted Mason, a member of a lodge of Masons who is not an operative. I just realized I should probably move my mic closer to me since I moved my body. Who is not an operative Mason, that is a working stonemason, but has joined the lodge to take part in its social and initiatory activities. The first accepted Masons documented in lodge records were Anthony Alexander, Lord William Alexander, and Sir Alexander Strachan of Thornton, who became members of Edinburgh Lodge in 1634. Sir Robert Moray, a Hermeticist and founding member of the Royal Society, became a member of the same lodge in 1640. The alchemist and astrologer Elias Ashmole was another early accepted Mason, joining a lodge in England in 1646. They and the thousands who followed them over the next century played a crucial role in the transformation of Freemasonry from a late medieval trade union to the prototypical secret society of modern times. See Ashmole, Ilias, Freemasonry, Moray, Robert, further reading, Stevenson, 1988. Adonis Mysteries of a system, Adonis. Drake named his kid Adonis. But oh, let's keep reading. A system of initiatory rites originally practiced in the Phoenician city of Byblos in Lebanon to celebrate the life, death, and resurrection of the old Babylonian vegetation god Tammuz, lover of Ishtar and subject of a quarrel between her and her underworld sister Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal. Local custom used the Semitic title Adonai, Lord, or Adonai, maybe, Lord, for the god. After Alexander the Great's conquest brought Lebanon into the ambit of Greek culture, the god's name changed to Adonis, while Aphrodite and Persephone, yep, took the places of the older goddesses. In its Hellenized form, the mystery cult of Adonis spread through much of the Middle East. Sorry, guys. Ads. Much of the Middle East. According to Greek and Roman mythographers, Adonis was the son of an incestuous affair between Sinrus, king of Cyprus, and his daughter Myrrha. They got some crazy names back in the days. He was so he was so beautiful that the love goddess Aphrodite fell in love with him. But while hunting on Mount Lebanon, he was gored to death by a wild boar. When he descended to Hades, Persephone, the queen of the underworld, fell in love with him as well and refused to yield to Aphrodite's pleas that he be allowed to return to life. Finally, the quarrel went before Zeus, king of the gods, who ruled that Adonis should live 6 months of the year in the underworld with Persephone and 6 months above ground with the goddess of love. Brief references to the mystery rites suggest that initiates carried out a symbolic search for the lost Adonis, mourned his death, and then celebrated joyously when he returned to life. All this follows the standard pattern of Middle Eastern vegetation myth, with the deity of the cross buried with the seed and reborn with a green shoot, only to be cut down again by a sickle, the shape of a boar's tusk. Hmm. The same pattern occurs in the Egyptian legend of Osiris, the myth behind the Eleusinian mysteries of ancient Greece, and arguably in the gospel accounts of the life and death of Jesus of Nazareth as well. See Christian origins, Eleusinian mysteries. Many scholars during the 18th century and 19th centuries recognized the common patterns between these myths and many others, and argued that worship of the life force expressed through the fertility of vegetation, crops, and human beings was the source of all religion. These ideas found a ready audience in secret societies of various kinds and similarities between contemporary secret societies rituals and surviving information about the mysteries of Adonis encouraged secret society members to draw connections with this and other classical mystery cults. Other works on the origins of Freemasonry commonly list the mysteries of Adonis as one of its possible sources. See fertility, religion, Freemasonry origins of adoptive masonry, a system of quasi Masonic rites for women. Adoptive masonry appeared in France in the middle of the 18th century. The first known lodge of adoption was founded in Paris in 1760 by the Comte de Bournonville. Another appeared at Nijmegen, the Netherlands in 1774. And by 1777, the adoptive right had risen to such social heights that the Lodge La Candor in Paris had the Duchess of Bourbon as its worshipful mistress, assisted by the Duchess of Chartres and the Princess de Lamballe. Its basic pattern came partly from Freemasonry and partly from earlier non Masonic secret societies. In France, that admitted men and women alike, see Freemasonry Order of the Happy, Order of Woodcutters. The degrees of adoptive Masonry take their names from corresponding Masonic degrees, but use an entirely different symbolism and ritual. The first degree, apprentice, involves the presentation of a white apron and gloves to the new initiate. The second, companion, draws on the symbolism of the Garden of Eden. And the third, mistress, on that of the Tower of Babel and the ladder of Jacob. The fourth degree, perfect mistress, refers to the liberation of the Jews from bondage in Egypt as an emblem of the liberation of the human soul from bondage to passion, and concludes with a formal banquet. The entire system focuses on moral lessons drawn from Christian scripture, a detail that has not prevented Christian critics from insisting that adoptive masonry is yet another front for Masonic devil worship. Anti Masonry. See Anti Masonry. Despite its ascent to stratospheric social heights, adoptive Masonry faced an early challenge from the Order of Mopsies. Order of Mopsies. I never heard of that before. A non Masonic order for men and women founded in Vienna in 1738. After the first papal condemnation of Freemasonry, papal, yeah, papal, the chaos of the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars finished off the Mopsies but left adoptive Masonry, tarred but alive, and it remains active in France at the present. So adoptive Masonry is active in the present in France. Okay. Attempts to launch it in other countries had limited success, although the example of French adoptive masonry played a major role in the launching of the Order of the Eastern Star and similar rights for women in America. See Order of Mopsies, Order of the Eastern Star. African American secret societies. The forced transportation of millions of Africans into slavery in the New World set in motion an important but much neglected tradition of secret societies. The West African nations, from which most slaves came, had secret societies of their own, and these provided models that black people in the New World drew on for their own secret societies. See African secret societies. The first documented African American beneficial society was the African Union Society, founded by a group of former slaves in Providence, Rhode Island, in 1780. The union provided sickness and funeral benefits to members, raised money for charities in the black community, and networked with similar organizations locally and throughout the country. Like most of the earliest black societies in the New World, it attempted to raise money and hire ships for a return to Africa. Despite the obstacles, projects of this sort managed to rep- repatriate. Hmm, I have to go over that word again. Tens of thousands of African Americans to West Africa and founded the nation of Liberia. By the time of the revolution, though most American blacks had been born in the New World, their goals centered not on a return to Africa, but on bettering themselves and securing legal rights in their new home. The rise of a large population of free African Americans in the large cities of the East Coast inspired new secret societies and beneficial organizations with less direct connections to African tradition. Among the most important of these were Masonic lodges working with the same rights as their white equivalents. From 1784, when African Lodge number 459 of Boston received a dispensation from the Grand Lodge of England. Prince Hall Lodges, named after the founder of African American Freemasonry. Prince Hall Lodges, named after the founder of African American Freemasonry. Okay, Prince Hall became a major institution in African American communities and provided a vital social network for the emergence of the earliest black middle class. By the beginning of the American Civil War, Prince Hall lodges existed in every state in the North and had a foothold in few southern states with a significant free black population. See Prince Hall Masonry. Freemasonry was not the only secret society of the time to find itself with a substantial African American branch. A social club for free blacks in New York City, the Philomathean, Philomathean Institute, applied to the Independent Order of Odd Fellows. Oof. Oof. Um, excuse me. In 1843, intended to transform the club into an Odd Fellows Lodge. The AUF rejected their application, and the Institute then contacted the Grand United Order of Odd Fellows in England and received a charter with its innovative system of sickness and funeral benefits. Odd Fellowship found an immediate welcome among African Americans and expanded into West Indies and black communities in Eastern Canada as well. See Odd Fellowship. While Prince Hall Masons and Grand United Order Odd Fellows were the most popular fraternal societies among African Americans before the Civil War, many other societies emerged in the black community. During that period, secret societies faced competition from public voluntary organizations rooted in Protestant churches. However, the same cultural forces that drove the expansion of secret societies in the white community helped African American secret societies hold their own and expand, especially in Maryland, Virginia, New York, and Pennsylvania, where more than half the free black people in America lived. Between 1830 and the Civil War, the years after the American Civil War saw vast economic and cultural changes across the defeated South. As former slaves tried to exercise their new political and economic rights, and the conservative whites used every available means to stop them. The Ku Klux Klan used secret society methods to unleash a reign of terror against politically active African Americans. While the Klan's power was broken by federal troops in the early 1870s, Jim Crow segregation laws passed thereafter imposed a rigid separation between black and white societies south of the Mason Dixon line. Ironically, this led to the rise of an educated black middle class in the South, as black communities were forced to evolve their own businesses, banks, churches, colleges, and secret societies. See Ku Klux Klan. Masonry and Odd Fellowship were joined by more than 1,000 other fraternal societies among Americans of African ancestry. Most of these grew out of the black community itself and drew on African American culture themes for their rituals and symbolism, but some borrowed the rituals and names of existing white fraternal orders. As an act of protest, the improved benevolent and protective order of Elks of the World, IPPOEW, for example, came into being in 1898 in Cincinnati, Ohio, when two African American men, B.F. Howard and Arthur Riggs, were refused membership in the local Elks Lodge. Because of their race, Riggs obtained a copy of the Elks ritual, discovered that Elks had never copyrighted, and proceeded to copyright it himself in the name of the new Elks Order. Despite lawsuits from the original Elks Order, the IBPOEW spread rapidly through African American communities and remains active to this day. See Benevolent Protective Order of Elks, BPOE. During these same years, fraternal benefit societies became one of the most popular institutions in American culture, offering a combination of initiation rituals, social functions, and insurance benefits. Americans of African descent took an active role in the growth of the new benefit societies. They had more reason than most to reject the costly and financially. Oh, head itches. Sorry, chat. Oof. Sorry. They had more reason than most to reject the costly and financially unsteady insurance industry of the time, since most insurance companies refused to insure black owned property. Since nearly all fraternal benefit societies founded by whites refused to admit people of color, blacks founded equivalent societies of their own. See fraternal benefit societies. Between 1880 and 1910, the golden age of African American secret societies, lodges, vied with the churches as the center of black social life and became a major economic force in the black community. One example of the Grand United Order of True Reformers, founded by Rev. W. W. Brown in 1881 at Richmond, Virginia, and the two decades following its founding. The order grew from 100 members to 70,000. Dang. Expanded more than 2 million in benefits and relief funds, and established a chain of grocery stores and its own savings banks, newspaper, hotel, and retirement home. That's fire. The problem that beset most American fraternal benefit societies in the years just before the First World War did not spare the African American societies. Like their white equivalents, few use actuarial data to set a balance between dues and benefits, and aging memberships and declining enrollments became a source of severe problems. The true reformer were not exempt and went bankrupt in 1908. The support of the black community kept many others going until the Great Depression of the 1930s and the mass migration of blacks to northern industrial cities during the Second World War shattered the social basis, shattered the social basis for their survival and left few functioning. Sociologist Edward Nelson Palmer commented that a trip to the South will show hundreds of tumbled down buildings, which once served as meeting places for Negro lodges. Wow. Palmer, 1944. A bleak memorial to proud heritage of mutual aid. Like its white equivalent, black Freemasonry found a new lease of life in the 1950s as servicemen returning from the Second World War saw active roles in their communities. But few other African American secret societies benefited much from this. In the second half of the 20th century, civil rights organizations such as National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, radical groups such as the Black Panther Party, and new religious movements such as the Nation of Islam, also known as the Black Muslims, absorbed much of the energy that had driven secret societies a century earlier. Further reading: Harris 1979, Palmer 1944. African Secret Societies. African secret societies. Like other traditional societies around the world, the cultures of the sub Saharan Africa possess a rich and varied body of secret society traditions, many of which still exist today. The sheer diversity of the hundreds of distinct African cultures make generalizations about African secret societies risky at best, and continuing prejudices and misunderstandings on the part of people in the industrial world cloud the picture further. It is just as inaccurate to think of all African secret societies in terms of masked witch doctors and firelit dances, as it is to think of all Africans as tribal peoples living in grass huts. Exactly. In reality, just as traditional African societies include everything from tribal hunter gatherer bands to highly refined, literate urban cultures, African secret societies include initiatory traditions that focus on the education and ritual transformation of children to adults, craft societies governing trades such as blacksmithing and hunting, religious and magical societies that teach secret methods of relating to supernatural powers, secret societies of tribal elders or leading citizens that play important roles in the government of many African communities, and many other forms of secret society as well. While most African secret societies are specific to particular cultures or nations, a few, such as the Poro and Sand societies of West Africa, have spread across cultural and national boundaries. See Poro Society and Sand Society. During the 4 centuries of European colonialism in Africa, African secret societies faced severe challenges from the cultural disruptions caused by the slave trade and colonial incursions from the efforts of Christian and Muslim missionaries, and from the colonial governments that often identify secret societies as a potential threat to their rule. During this time, African slaves deported to the New World brought several secret societies with them, and they and their descendants created new secret societies of their own, influencing the development of fraternal secret societies in America and elsewhere. Nor did this nor did this process of exchange go in only one direction. Several secret societies of European origin, including Freemasonry and the Loyal Orange Order, established themselves in the 19th century among European educated Africans and remained active, especially in large cities in West Africa. See African American secret societies, Freemasonry, Loyal Orange Order. Today, many traditional African secret societies survive in a more or less complete form, and in the twilight of the Western colonialism, enabled some of them to reclaim the roles they once had in their own cultures. Thus, the Mau Mau Society derived from the older oath-bound societies in Kenya, played an important role in freeing that country from a colonial rule, while the Pearl Society in Sierra Leone was able to impose and enforce a pearl curfew during the Sierra Leone Civil War of the 1990s. That protected local communities from the attacks of rebels and government soldiers. African descendant communities in the New World have also preserved a number of African secret societies. Sorry, I'm slow down. African descendant communities in the New World have also preserved a number of African secret society traditions, and these have become more popular with the decline of Christian control over governments and the spread of religious freedom. See Mau Mau, further reading, Mackenzie, 1967. Ages of the world. Since ancient times, many cultures have divided the history of the world into a series of distinct ages. Separated by cataclysms, the oldest documented teachings about ages of the world in the West appears in the writings of the Greek poet Hesiod, who wrote sometime in the 8th century BCE. According to Hesiod, history began with the Golden Age, when people lived without sorrow or toil. They became earth spirits, and their age ended. Next came the Silver Age, inhabited by people who refused to worship the gods and so were destroyed. The Bronze Age followed, and its people were savage warriors who ended the age by exterminating one another. The Fourth Age, the Age of Heroes, the setting for all the Greek heroic myths, and in it with the heroes either died in battle or went to the Elysian fields in the far west of the world. Finally came the Iron Age of Hesiod's own time, an age of poverty, toil, and bitter suffering. Ah, Hesiod, your age was trash. I feel bad for you, brother. Later Greek and Roman writers suggested that the Iron Age would end with a return to the Golden Age, but Hesiod holds out no such hope. In his vision, the Iron Age is fated to worsen until the gods finally abandon the world and the human race perishes. So he is a pessimist. A similar scheme appears in India, where a sequence of 4 years, yugas, or world ages, sets the beat for a cosmic clock. First in the sequence comes the Satya Yuga, or Golden Age of Righteousness, of 1,728,000 years. Then the Treta Yuga, or Silver Age, of 1,296 years. Then the Dvapara Yuga, or Bronze Age, of 864,000 years. And finally, the sinister Kali Yuga. I know Kali Yuga. I've heard that before. The Iron Age of darkness and ignorance, lasting a mere 432,000 years. The Kali Yuga ends in a catastrophe, after which the entire cycle begins again. Whoo! Another scheme of the same type can be traced in Native American traditions. A set of myths found from Oregon to Peru divides the time into world ages called suns, of which the present is the fifth. Each sun lasts 5,125 years and ends with a disaster. You guys suck. Why is everything bad with you guys? Golly. The current fifth sun, according to the Mayan calendar, began on August 11th, 3114 BCE, and will end in catastrophe on December 21st, 2012. See Cap. You guys. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, Luis. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, they were full of cap. Pretty full of cap. What lies behind these numbers, according to many scholars, is a procession of equinoxes, a slow wobble in Earth's orbit that moves from the equinoctial and solstitial points backwards through the zodiac at the rate of 1 degree every 72 years. 2,160 years, one great month takes the markers through an entire sign of the zodiac. And 25,920 years, one great year completes the full precessional cycle. Dang, that's a long time to really actually go through the entire zodiac. It's crazy. Uh, for convenience, the position of the sun at the spring equinox is used to track the entire process. When the cast of the 1960s musical Hair sang about the dawning of the age of Aquarius, they were referring to the shift of its position out of Pisces, where it has been for a little more than 2,000 years, into the sign of Aquarius. The same numbers govern most other systems of world ages. The fifth sun of the Mayan calendar, for example, is almost exactly one-fifth of the great year, and the Kali Yuga consists of 200 great months. Even shorter cycles, such as the system created by the German Renaissance wizard Jan, Janez, I think that's how you say these, tri, 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 Trimestis, Tristemestis, Trithemius, Trithemius, Trithemius of Spolheim, 1462 to 1516, unfolds from the precessional cycle. The seven angles of Trithemius' system each rule over a period of 307 years and 7 months, so that the full cycle of completes in one great month. Hmm. Everybody has like their own like little system they work on. Not all secret society teachings about world ages, however, follow the movements of the precessional cycle. For more than 2,000 years, Chinese revolutionary secret societies have postulated a simplified system of world ages. As part of their ideology, the length and number of the previous ages vary from one secret society to another. Through a three-age system is the most common. Of central importance, though, is the transition from the present dark age identified with the then current Chinese imperial dynasty to the bright new age that will dawn as soon as the dynasty is overthrown and the secret society's leader becomes the next emperor. See White Lotus societies. A remarkably similar system can be found in 19th and 20th century European secret societies, which borrowed it from the medieval Italian mystic Joachim of Florence. Joachim's system originally postulated an age of God, the Father, ruled by the principle of law, lasting from the fall of Adam and Eve to the crucifixion of Jesus, and age of God, the Son, ruled by the principle of love and lasting from the crucifixion of Joachim's own time, and an age of God, the Holy Spirit, ruled by the principle of liberty and lasting from Joachim's time to the end of the world. Later, Later Joachimite theologians flipped the first two to produce a more satisfying drama, in which an original blissful age of love gave way via the fall of Adam and Eve to the bitterness of the age of law, which was about to yield to the redemption of a utopian age of liberty. So, I don't know if you can tell, everybody is gauging this up to this future where we are all liberated. From all of these, it's either we are all the world is destroyed or the world is liberated. It's literally all of it. It's literally that's just there are the two separate ideologies is either we're going to be liberated or destroyed. Stripped of its theological framework, this latter scheme became the most common system of the world ages. In the modern West, Karl Marx, I check the time, okay? Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels redefined it in an economic language to become the basic historical scheme of communism, with primitive communism as the age of love, capitalism as the age of law, and the workers' paradise of communism as the future age of liberty. Aleister Crowley used Egyptian mythology. Aleister, so that's where Aleister cars come from Aleister. Okay, Alistair cards come from Alistair. That's crazy. Alistair Crowley used Egyptian mythology rather than political economy to define history in terms of the aeons of Isis, Osiris, and Horus, with himself the prophet of the latter A string of feminist writers, in turn, subjected gender relationships to the same scheme and saw the age of love reflected in their hypothetical, ancient, matriarchal utopias, the age of law in Indo European patriarchy, and the future age of liberty in a partnership society of gender equality in which, to adapt George Orwell's phrase, women would be noticeably more equal than men. See Communism, Crowley, Alistair, Matriarchy. Huh. I have to reread that part for sure. Uh, these two grand schemes, the precessional cycle and the myth of the fall and redemption, define most of the systems of world ages circulated in secret societies during the last 400 years or so. But the sheer creativity of their secret society underground has guaranteed a hearing for other unique systems. One of the best examples is the work of Samson Mackey of Norwich, a shoemaker and self-taught cosmologist, who argued that Earth's poles gradually turned over in a vast cycle no less than 2,332,800 years in length, when the poles were perpendicular to its orbit. Earth basked in perpetual springing when the poles were parallel to the orbital plane. It entered an age of horror, golly, in which its inhabitants alternately froze and fried in nights and days. Okay, so the times were the days where the world was really hot, and the times where the days were really cold, and the nights were really cold. So that's what they're talking about. Okay. The vision of the prehistory found a new home in the teachings of the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor, an influential magical secret society of the late 19th century. See Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor. Okay, this is probably where we're going to end today's chat, but we're going to finish this paragraph, and it's probably be where I end today. We'll finish out this. Okay. So the popularity of teachings about world ages shows no signs of ebbing at present, and recent discoveries about natural catastrophes in the distant and not so distant past have provided a good deal of fodder for present and future theories about ages of the world. Whatever else can be said about the present world age, it is in which world ages are the perennial hot topic. Okay. Further reading De Santillana and Von Ditchen, 1977. Godwin, 1993. Hesiod, 1973. Okay. So that's the end of this of today's reading. We ended on page 14. We're gonna start our next reading at Agartha on page 14. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. Thank you for all the views. Thank you for all the viewers. Thank you for the chats. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm okay. Let's do my outro real quick. Turn off the music. Try the hiccups. Okay. Uh, I appreciate you. Oh, there we go. I appreciate you. Oh, it's on my crotch. Books in my lap. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'm out of here. So, peace on both cams. Yeah. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. See you later. See you on the next reading. Promise I will read better the next time. I'm just kind of getting used to reading out loud. I haven't read out loud in a very long time. Like, who reads out loud anymore? Literally. So, um, yeah. Hope you guys enjoy the reading, and I'll see you in the next stream. No technical difficulties the next time, and we'll be